Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to talk about Genesis 3, verse 11. And he said, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree of which I commanded you not to eat?" This verse represents divine questioning, not to exact information, but to awaken awareness. According to the Zohar, it is a moment of spiritual confrontation where the divine light seeks to reveal the rupture within the soul and initiate the process of teshuvah, return. The Holy One does not accuse directly, he asks, allowing Adam the dignity of choice, confession, and growth. But hidden within these questions is the sword of truth, penetrating illusion. The first phrase we have, "Who told you that you were naked?" The echo of the accuser. God's question is not for his own knowledge. He is omniscient, but for Adam's awakening. The Zohar explains, the Holy One questioned him not for knowledge, but to illuminate the lie. In essence, God is asking, where did this awareness come from? You were clothed in light. Who replaced it with shame? The Zohar says this is not merely about physical nakedness, but about spiritual detachment. The nakedness is the absence of the divine image, the Zelem Elohim, and the departure of Shekinah. So the question, "Who told you?" becomes, what voice did you listen to? What consciousness did you invite in? From where did this new self-awareness arise? The next phrase we have you eaten from the tree? Divine exposure of free will. The second question exposes the core choice. Did you disobey? Did you turn from Ein Sof, the infinite, to the illusion of self-autonomy? God does not say, "You have eaten," he asks, "Have you?" This continues the Zohar's motive of divine mercy. Rather than accuse, God invites self-realization. He placed the words before him like a mirror, that the man might see his reflection. In this question lies the intersection of judgment and compassion, a confrontation that seeks not condemnation but truthful return. Next on the phrase we have, "of which I commanded you not to eat," recalling the covenant. The Zohar points out that God invokes the command not to shame Adam, but to reawaken memory, to restore the original bond between divine instruction and human trust. The command not to eat was a covenant of alignment. Eating was a choice to step outside the divine flow. By restating the command, God is not merely reminding Adam of his disobedience. He is rekindling the light of instruction, mitzvah, the bond that can still be reactivated. Mystical implication: who is who? Kabbalistically, the word who, in Hebrew me, has deep esoteric meaning. The Hebrew word me represents the upper Sephirot, especially Binah, understanding. It is the divine mystery, the hidden aspect of God that questions existence. So when God says, "Who told you?" the Zohar suggests this is not just a question, but a summoning of Binah, the spiritual womb, which now demands reckoning. From the place called Who came the thunder of divine inquiry. Thus, God calls forth the light of understanding, urging Adam to see himself through the lens of divine wisdom. So, why two questions? The Zohar teaches that God asked two questions. First one was, who told you that you were naked? This question reveals inner transformation, distorted self-perception, and spiritual fragmentation. The second question was, have you eaten from the tree? This addresses the external action, the behavioral violation that triggered the inner collapse. The first is diagnosis of the soul. The second is the exposure of the deed. The order matters. God addresses the inner fracture before the outer action. He heals the wound before removing the weapon. Zoharic reversal, nakedness equals disconnection from Shekinah. The Zohar states that Adam's true nakedness was the departure of the Shekinah from his being. Before the sin, he was clothed in ore, in light, a supernal radiance. After the sin, that light departed and he became clothed in skin and shame. So when God says, who told you, it is a deeper lament who revealed to you the sensation of being alone. Why did you choose knowledge over presence, duality over unity? To summarize, Genesis 3 verse 11 is not a demand, but a mirror. Who told you that you were naked? This is not about physical nudity, but about the loss of spiritual clothing, the departure of Shekinah. God asks, whose voice are you now listening to? Where did this self-consciousness, this shame come from? Have you eaten from the tree? God does not accuse. He opens space for self-realization. The divine does not shout. He invites Adam to take responsibility. These two questions reflect two truths: the inner collapse, identity based on shame; the outer act, the breach of divine instruction. The Zohar teaches this is the template for every spiritual fall. When the soul distances from the infinite, the divine does not condemn. He asks, where are you? Who told you? Have you eaten? Each question is a ladder of return, guiding the soul from fragmentation back into the embrace of the divine voice. Through these questions, the light begins to shine again, not as fire, but as invitation. That's it for today. Thank you very much for your donation. Be blessed, everyone, and I will see you on the next episode.